Hi, Rhonda. Tom's check. Can you hear me?
Hello there.
Hey, there you are.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And how you doing? You've been through a lot the last couple weeks.
Oh my gosh. You know, hasn't really stopped either. I went on vacation. My mom passed away while I was gone.
Yeah.
And then I get home, I had a big birthday party for my husband. A couple days later, he goes into the hospital with double hernia.
Oh,
It's like, anything else? I don't know if I'm coming or going. How about you? Are you doing okay?
I'm doing okay. It's just these medications are throwing me for a loop. I hate them. I despise medications, Rhonda. And they've rescheduled. I was ready to head out the door, and the doctor. I have to travel down to Anchorage. It's 6 hour drive for the Alaska Heart
Oh,
Institute to have my
oh,
procedure. They don't have it up here in Fairbanks. And right
wow.
as I was just getting ready to head out the door, they called. You haven't left yet, have you? I'm like, no. They're like, good, because we have to reschedule. And
Oh,
so and so, and then they wanted to schedule it for tomorrow, or actually this Friday. But my daughter's softball. She's a senior this year. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it during the Rally in the Valley softball tournament. And the
hey,
next availability is,
right,
5-6
right.
May.
Mm.
So it shifted everything to the right, almost a month. And it's these medications, they just make you lethargic and blah blah blah.
Groggy and yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I hate that too. I don't do well on any medication at all.
yeah, yeah. I don't like these. I mean, blood thinner, then a beta blocker, and then another thing
Mhm.
that's supposed to, even if I go into AFib, it's supposed to like put things back in rhythm. And
Yeah.
too bad that doesn't work.
Wow. Wow. Well,
Yeah,
got to take care of yourself.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah. So,
that? So
all right.
what have I missed in the meantime? I feel like I'm way behind the eight ball. So before my thing expired, I got a trade in. Didn't do well on it. I did get a trade set. It was like,
Yeah.
now I almost feel like I'm starting all over again. Let me grab my notebook here. But man, oh man, I don't know. Where is everybody today?
Well, I'm not sure. Susan's usually in Vince.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I think I only cleared last week. Yeah, let me see if I got any messages right now. Yeah, nothing right now. So let's dive right in. Let's dive right in. I want to get you
Hey,
caught up. Um,
yeah.
let's look at some charts. Um, I want to make sure you have a good understanding of, I mean, 10 MA strategy, clearly.
Yeah.
Um, but what we want to focus on today, we'll touch
Let
on
me
the
shut
10 MA
that off a
strategy,
second.
but I want to like establish that high and low, that framework where
Mm-hmm.
the 10 MA strategy is most effective. And
Mm-hmm.
so again, we're just going to be looking at support on the low side and resistance. And what we're going to find out with these indices, um, there's a lot to be understood, by the Globex high. And when I say Globex high, I'm just talking about that high. It might even
Mm-hmm.
be outside when the US market's closed,
Mm-hmm.
but our futures or our indices are trading 23 hours out of the day.
Right. Let me grab my list here a second. There's Susan. There she is.
Hey, all right. You know, Susan?
So the
I just
index.
happened to get, oh, I'm sorry.
Hi, Susan.
Uh,
Yeah,
Are the
very nice. So,
index CFD, is that the index CFD? Are those the futures?
no, totally different. However, the same. So yes, you
Different
know,
but the same.
but then I say no, because futures, you know, they are an asset class to themselves.
Hmm.
You know, CFDs actually are an asset class to themselves.
What does
Contract
CFD
for
mean?
difference. CFD,
Contract.
contract for difference. And the CFD is nothing more than just a derivative of the underlying index.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, so within the funded account world that we're in, CFD, it's its own asset class. However, it's like the NASDAQ 100 index.
Hmm.
Okay, well, look at the Qs. QQQ. Okay,
Mhm.
that's an ETF on that is open when the US market is open. It's closed
Right.
when the US market is closed. However, the Qs and the NASDAQ 100 are one and the same.
Okay. I'm just
So,
looking at
you're
the
just able to trade the Qs 23 hours out of the day when you trade the NASDAQ CFD index. Does that make sense?
Oh, so the CFD acts like a futures in there that it's open 23 hours a day, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah. That's accurate. It's just the futures, you know, are their own asset class,
Right.
but if you're looking at an indice, exchange traded fund, futures, we could go to like a 3-minute chart, all three of them, they're identical.
Okay.
You learn to trade
So
one.
the NASDAQ 100 is equivalent to QQQ.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So when you were doing trading futures, were you referring to the CFDs basically? Or are you referring to the actual, because you were at one point you said people can get funded really quick by trading futures. Did you mean on a different platform? Or
Oh
did
yeah.
you mean
Yes. Yeah.
totally different platform?
Yeah, I don't do GUI trade at all.
Oh, you don't?
No. That's
I'm really struggling with that one. I gotta tell you, it's set me back big time.
yeah. If
I
you
don't
still
know, I
got it,
don't know what to do at this point.
yeah, no, if you've got it, that's excellent, because if you can trade those indices, the crypto, the Forex, everything, oil, gold, you know, everything that's in GUI.
Mhm.
If you've got it, I mean, utilize that, because I
Yeah.
go in with the paper trading, you know, the simulation accounts, you know, within GUI,
Right.
and I will trade.
Yeah.
And I train, and that's usually what I
So
share when I'm coaching,
it's
because
a great place to practice.
it is. But do I want to pay $1,300 every time, you know, if I want to add another account?
Well,
No, I'd
that's
rather
what
pay
you
like
are,
$27 or $33, you know.
and you're talking the funded accounts now.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
matter of fact, Susan, I kind of liked her move. And Susan, I'm gonna talk about you right in front of you. Hope that's okay. But you know, she went and got another account, you know, from the real life trading platform, but you know, she ended up doing, I think it was the MTR, you know, instead of the DX, you know, the DX trader, which
Mhm.
is fine.
Is DX GUI basically?
Yeah. But
Okay.
real life trading and push button trading, or Matt DeLong with push button, Matt DeLong with real life trading, along with Jeremy Newsom, they're not even really promoting, you know, the GUI or the DX trade much. They have it on their websites because there's a lot of customers that are in there, and that's real important.
Yeah.
Um,
So they have a different funded account with push button?
no, not yet. No, they don't have one that they're solely endorsing yet.
Okay.
You know, they're talking about like EliteTrader.com, you know, Blue Ski, Apex, but they really haven't found one prop firm that they're going to that they identify with as far as an affiliation and endorse yet.
Yeah.
Because again, so many changes, and they're like, hey, we're spending so much money in transitioning our automation, from bots,
Yep.
push button bot to the fully automated bot, from MetaTrader 5 over to
Yeah.
NinjaTrader 8.
Yeah.
And a lot of the funded account world, that the only means they have right now really is the futures. And if you got your own account, you're funding yourself. Well, that's a different story, and that works just as well within the NinjaTrader 8. But yeah, just how do they build the edge, the technology, that push button technology and the bots, and because it costs tens of thousands of dollars when you have to change the platform.
Right.
You have to rewrite the code. You got to do everything
So
different.
what do we do at this point? I feel like this class kind of, and everybody else kind of fell in the crack of that. And I don't know if I'm the only one that's confused, probably, maybe, but
No, you're not. You're not.
no, I'm not.
Nope.
Good. So at this point, I mean, I need to get, so use GUI trade to practice and paper trade and so on, right?
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
when it
Define
comes
and
to
refine your plan with the
refine
GUI
the plan.
trader. And just get with me. If you want another paper trading, another
Okay.
simulation account, just let me know. We can keep
Okay,
those
and
coming
but
in.
then when we're finally ready to do a funded account, then where?
Well,
Then
it depends on your package. I don't know your discovery call with Jeremy Ritz,
right?
but I believe most clients do have one actual evaluation or assessment account part of your package.
Oh.
So, and it's going to be limited to the GUI. But
it is going to be, that's going to be
if you
limited
get
to GUI?
funded, within GUI trade, hallelujah. There's nothing wrong with that. So,
Okay.
so utilize the paper trading or the simulation and that interface. And then when you're ready to actually say, hey, here's my one shot, I want my assessment account now, and let's go Jeremy Ritz and whatever you did agree to. I can't
Right.
speak clearly of who gets what.
How would we know
But I
that?
believe your package does include one assessment account.
Okay.
My job as a coach is for you to have the confidence, and you see in your simulation account, you grow by 10%. You're consistently profitable. You're winning more than you're losing. Those conditions, and you got a playbook, and it's like, okay, now go get your assessment account. And you get one shot at that. When that, if that doesn't work, that's where I want you to get with me, because I am with Apex and Blue Ski, and I'm futures. I'm 100% futures now, and I've actually got a copy trader. So I've got 6 accounts that I passed an evaluation on, and now I just a couple $100 a day times 6, and that's the route I'm going. I mean, it's just. This actually forced me to understand what I didn't know.
That's what you're trying to generate?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have 6 funded accounts?
Yeah.
Wow. Pardon me for eating.
No, that's good. But I only have to trade on one, and that's the copy trader. So I just trade on one, but I got a very small R now. I don't need a 1% of my account. I got a small R. That way I could lose 10 times before I'd have to worry about it, actually. Wow. But if I win $100 in 6 accounts, well, that's $600. Okay, it times that by 21 days, that's a little over 12,000, 13,000 a month, right in there.
Right.
Jay, are you doing it off of Tradeovate, or are you doing it off TradingView?
I have my copy trader is actually within NinjaTrader 8. Ninja. However,
which I thought Tradeovate was on
Tradeovate, it does have its own copy trader in there, and I will utilize that from time to time, but it bit me in the hiney. This is funny. This is a lesson learned, because I had one account. It was a 50K account funded. Well, I went with 5. My mind was 5 micros.
But you were
okay.
winning.
Well, I ended up in Tradeovate, happened to be in the mini, So the NQ versus the mini NQ. And
Ooh.
so I had 5 minis and it just dropped a couple points, $2,000, blew up the
Mm.
account. And I'm like, what the heck just happened? And I looked over and I'm like, oh, because I put that order in on the mini
Ooh,
versus the micro.
okay.
Because 5 minis is the same as 50 or 50 micros. And my
Right.
intent was 5 micros. You see?
Yeah.
So Tradevate burnt me big time. But again, it was just I didn't have my checklist. I didn't follow my checklist to verify all the different steps. But Tradevate is very cool because once you have an Apex account or even a Blue Ski, you've got real live data. You have a copy trader inherent within Tradevate.
Right.
Now, I can't trade my Blue Ski and my Apex at the same time within Tradevate, but my 6 accounts within Apex, yes, I can. But I'm using Blue Ski really for the fully automated bot within push button trading. That's the only reason I got that account.
Wow, confusing. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
We don't
wait
know
till
what we
you
don't
try
know.
and set up Tradevate.
Say that again, Susan.
Wait till you try and set up Tradevate.
Oh
It's been interesting. It's taken me 2 days to do it.
Yeah, I've had to do a lot of YouTube videos on it. I got it set up the way I like, and believe it or not, I like Tradevate for the sole purpose of the range and cumulative delta. So and the
Yeah.
range is different than your candles. So
Right. Well, don't they aren't they using candles with married with range?
well, you got candles within the range, but every candle, once it hits that 22, I mean every candle is exactly the same size, when you're trading range. And so what
Right.
you really do get to see is direction, direction of price. And a lot of times it bounces between, around VWAP,
Yeah.
down to the first and second band, and then bounces back and forth. And that's a different conversation, but what I really like about it is if we don't have a trend, like on that 3 or 5 minute time frame, and things just are choppy going sideways, well, that's when you change your chart and look at the range. Oh my goodness, I make just as much money now when it's choppy and sideways as I do if I'm in a trend.
wow.
So, but that's a whole different strategy, but that's futures for you.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really want to focus on today,
futures? You like futures?
do I like them?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I enjoy what we're in now more than I did before all this change. Like trading Tesla, AMD, the stocks, because then you have to really go out and you have to like utilize screeners and plot support and resistance on so many different ticker symbols.
Mm-hmm.
And then you listen, you watch email, and everybody's like, hey, here's the greatest thing, within Tesla. Hey, here's what AMD is going to do. Here's what NVIDIA is going to do. Here's what Microsoft's going to do. Here's what Meta is going to do. Now it's like, nope. What's NASDAQ?
Really?
I just need to understand the NASDAQ 100 essentially,
Mm-hmm.
or SPX. You choose your flavor. What do you desire? NQs or the NASDAQ has a lot more volatility. A bigger bang for your buck. Where the SPX trades very similar to the NASDAQ,
Mm-hmm.
because again, a lot of the same big tech companies are weighted heavily in the NASDAQ, weighted heavily within the SPX. But there are some differences, variations there. And so I think as a beginning futures trader, best bet is to trade the SPX. Where opportunity I think is greater with a very strict trading plan is within the NASDAQ 100.
Hmm.
You know,
Not the
Qs.
Qs? Oh, okay, that's the Q. Yeah.
yeah. So, where I'm focusing my energy today is the micro NQ, MNQs. And I'm really dealing with just 2 to 3 micros.
Hmm.
You know, when I get with my funded accounts, once I get up and I'm starting, I want a couple $1,000 buffer, because there's not a trailing stop, you know, once you're funded. It stops at $100 over that original balance. Meaning a 25K account. Now that's funded. When I get it to, the target is $1,500. So when I get it to 26.5 plus 100, it no longer trails from there. So I want to go to like 27,100, 28,100. That's a $2,000 buffer. I'll start withdrawing up around 3,000. Does that
Otherwise,
make
it
sense?
trailed up. Did it trail up?
Well, it will trail up until at $100 over that target, and then it no
But
longer
Jake-
trails anymore. I could go to 100,000 within, this is a 25K account, so 26.5 is the target. Add $100, so $26,600 on a 25K account. It doesn't trail anymore after that. I can go all the way up to 300,000. I am good if I
So now
go a
you're not
big
gonna-
drawdown all the way back down to 26,100.
Hmm. I see
So
what you-
small, so I deal with micros at the beginning, gain confidence,
Mhm.
execute my trading plan, get up above that profit target, create a buffer, and then
Mhm.
start making withdrawals. And I will then start probably increasing my R. But until I'm up at around 3,000 above, you know, where the game over mark is,
Yeah.
very conservative. You know, I'd rather spend, you know, 30 trading days, $100 average a day, versus blowing up the account or starting over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Slow and
when you
easy.
start looking at around 6 accounts, well, $100 a day, 600 a day, it adds up very quickly.
Mhm.
You know, to get in within,
Do
a
you
lot
do
of
the
times I can do it in
same
the evening time before I even go to
trade?
bed. I might get my $100 and I don't have to trade the next day.
Do you trade the same in each account?
Yeah, that's the copy
Trade.
trader. So one account, and I'm like, hey, duplicate this across all accounts.
Oh.
Now that's with the copy though, right?
Yeah. Now the nice thing about it is maybe you got one account, you're trading a mini, but you got 2 of maybe, so let's say 2 of my accounts, brand new, and I only want to risk maybe half. Well, I could actually, my master account, say I want 1 mini, which is the equivalent of like 10 micros. Well, I could
Mhm.
set up those other 2 accounts to where they're only going to trade, you know, maybe 0.2 of the master account, which would be equivalent of like 2 micros. So you
And
could,
these are 6 funded accounts? Is that what it is?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now, Jake, you're trading most of the time though on Ninja. Would you recommend me? Because I still am not trading on TradeAvate. I'm still trying to set it up. Would I be better off going to Ninja?
I think in the long run, yes. But the reason I'm positive, Susan, is because I've got the copy trader that I'm using. But what I haven't done yet is take the copy trader, because the technology is there, is where you could actually trade within TradingView, your master account, or a copy trader. So,
Meaning TradeAvate or Ninja?
no, TradingView
Okay.
is actually,
Okay.
that can utilize the copy trader within Ninja that I'm using now, but there is just
Okay.
one other software add-on. And if I want to just solely trade from TradingView, I can't. I just have not done it yet. But it is there. The technology is
What
there.
is the what's the software? Because I'm in Ninja.
Yeah, look at the Apex or ATF.com copy trader, and then you can kind of navigate their website, and you're going to see where you can actually integrate it with TradingView, to where it could be just one account you're trading within TradingView that then does reach
But you've
out and
got
touch all your other
right,
accounts.
right. See, I have been
But
forcing
trading-
myself. Go ahead, Rhonda.
No, I'm sorry.
No, I just said the force because I was listening to Arabia on futures on RLT. I forced myself to trade only 9:30 to 11, and and I'm paper trading on TradingView. I've been doing 12 to 1400 with 3 trades a day, trying to teach myself not to over trade and freak out and do stupid shit.
Yeah.
So I can so I can learn how to behave myself. And what do you have to understand, Rhonda? I'm an antsy person, so man, I lose something, I'm going to trail that sucker down till it goes to the bottom. I'm trying to teach myself to be good in three or four trades in a day at 400 a piece.
Wow. Wow.
I'm hitting that
But there's
on.
no funded account with TradingView, is there?
Yeah, you
No,
could fund it, but
Yeah,
I'm
TradingView is not
paper
a
trading.
broker.
And
No,
I'm just
no.
paper trading.
That's so that we're just talking paper trade right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to teach myself these lessons before I go
Yes.
get in.
Yeah. But
This is true.
here I want to make sure we don't miss really the bottom line, because with say if you were to go Apex, which is a prop firm to trade futures, if you want to go Bluesky, which is again a different prop firm to trade futures, both of those integrate with TradingView, meaning you
Oh,
can log in to Tradeovate, and you're going to select your Apex account or your Bluesky account. You're going to log in, and you can trade 100% solely within TradingView. You don't have to go to Ninja. You don't have to go to the Tradeovate platform. You could do it all within TradingView.
Right.
And that's important, and that's I think a feature that is very attractive. If you've got one account at a time that you're working on.
Right.
Now, can TradingView work as the master account with a trade copier? Yes, I just haven't done it yet,
Okay.
but you can. And so, but because of that, I am working on NinjaTrader 8. I'm gaining some confidence with that platform. I like it, actually. It's ultimately it's probably going to replace TradingView for me. I'm just not there yet, but I've had a couple of days. It's like, oh my goodness, I didn't even really go into TradingView today. I did it all within the NinjaTrader 8 platform and Tradeovate. That is happening more frequently now.
Hmm.
So, and that's not our focus today. That's not to just add more confusion. But on the other hand, I really encourage, Vince, you're not logged in right now, but Vince, the same thing along with Mike and Jacob. I really encourage you just to kind of drill down or checklist, find out what direction do you want to go from here. And the only reason I have to ask that question is because when you started with RYD, we were trading US equities in the form of a CFD. We just can't do that anymore. And it's beyond the control of any of us here. And will it change after the elections? Possibly. I don't know. But this is such a big change because they couldn't tax us as US citizens within the CFDs. You know, like, oh, we can't tax it, so let's just make it illegal for them. That's what they did.
Basically.
Yeah, but the futures
Well,
are their own asset class, and those are taxable. When you have a funded account, you know, like futures, you're going to get a 1099,
right, you're fine.
and that's how you do your taxes.
Mhm.
You're a contractor, essentially.
Yep. Yep.
I
So-
just want to
Well-
try to make this as simple as possible because all these different trading platforms and brokers and everything has me all mixed up.
Yeah.
So, you know,
And I'm 72 and I have a really fouled up brain. We still have
Yeah.
Tradeovate functioning.
Yeah,
um,
yeah. So, because Rhonda, your desire, I resonate with, and that's where I really want to spend our energy. It's just let's keep it simple, and what I mean
Yeah.
by that, we're going to focus on, you know, the GUI. We're going to
Okay.
focus on the kind of the indices, because when we're successful there, then we're going to be successful with the futures.
okay,
The math's a little bit different. That's the only thing.
yeah,
So where I want to spend the next few minutes is I want to go in and I just kind of want to share, hey, where are strategic highs and lows, you know, on any given day, and what are we looking at? You know, because we just still want to create an edge, and it's within that Globex high, that Globex low, and we're going to look at, hey, look at the 1 hour mark after the US markets open relative to the Globex low or the Globex high. And then we're going to look at the Qs.
Okay.
And that's all it takes, just to kind of understand, are we in a trend or are we choppy?
okay,
And 10 EMA within that framework is very, very effective. And
Okay.
that's the picture that I want to paint tonight. So
okay.
I did a 2-minute pause, and I'll be right back. And I'm going to share my screen, and I want to kind of share. I want to demonstrate what I just shared right there with the highs and lows and how we're going to execute that.
Perfect.
So about 2 minutes. Just going to
Okay.
pause. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay, you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, so what we're looking at here is this is the micro NASDAQ 100 futures. And just before we move off of here, I'll kind of split that over here. So we got the micro MNQs over here. And then we'll look at the kind of go into the GUI list here, and we're gonna look at the NQ. I didn't intend to do that. It's right here. I want the NQs there. And then over here is where I want the micros. Okay. And this is just a good, I'm just kind of snapping a new chalk line here. Because here's like your equivalent of your GUI, your NASDAQ, NAS 100 within GUI. On the right side. Okay, here's a micro, a futures contract of the NASDAQ 100. What's different?
Not a lot.
No, they're one and the same. And that's important to understand. So if long term we're going to trade futures, which I believe we are, because the funded account, it is very competitive, meaning they're running discounts all the time, and now you're starting to talk like, you know, $27 to $33 a month, you know, to have a funded account opportunity, where GUI DX Trader, it costs you $1,000, you know. And so, and that's what's significant. So, but here's equivalent of the index. And let's look at the S&P. Okay, on the left side over here is the micro of the SPX. On the right side is the SPX 500. Same chart. You see? Okay, so that's important to kind of grasp and understand. So we can train and trade within GUI all we want and become an expert, you know, within trading futures, trading an indice. It doesn't matter. Trading the Qs. Let's look at one more. I'm going to go 3 here, but I'm going to go back to on the left. I'm going to go, there's the NASDAQ cash. In the middle, I'm going to go with the Qs. So there's a little bit of different activity that happens within the Qs, but you see how this is the same chart. So there's our Qs, there's our NTF. And then on the right side, we're going to go with the futures. All right. So here's this blue right here is after hours with the Qs. So there is a little bit different exposure. You know, as far as people that are trading the Qs after hours, it's just purely institutions.
Right.
The folks trading the NASDAQ 100 minis or the micros, you know, market's open. It's not after hours. But that's why these 3 charts are identical. So here's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, where we go from gray to blue. So look at this section here. That section there. And this section here. US market open, it's the same. Do you see that?
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's just real important to understand, because I will utilize the cues if they gap up or gap down. Because the cues does not like to leave gaps unfilled. So there's an edge there, because if it gaps down, jump over here to the daily. Okay, it closed here last Friday. I'm sorry. Yesterday, I'm sorry, Monday. It opened clear down here. So that was kind of a gap down. And it kind of kept going, but ultimately it kind of come back up. Yeah. It's not the best example ever. We like, I'm looking, we're back here on 30 January, we gapped way down. This gap did not, you see gap here? This lower of this wick and the high of this, that's a gap.
Yep.
Okay, it's not a matter of if, but when is this gap going to be filled? Well, just 2 days later,
Mhm.
you know, it took. But overall sentiment, when this gap down, boom, here's a retest. And you look at the top of this candle, the bottom of this wick, you know, right here is your price zone. That's your retest. Bear
Mhm.
gap retest. Right here, this wick. And they just continued on down. Well, the next day, it kind of gapped up, but it didn't clear, you know, the previous day's high, but it opened a lot higher than where it closed. And it kind of retested it, come down a little bit, and then it just kind of went on up. I love looking at what's happening in Qville to understand what my NASDAQ minis or futures are going to do. So that right there is 21 Feb. There's 21 Feb. Okay. So you got to remember, this trades 23 hours out of the 24-hour clock. This one is trading 6.5 hours,
Mm.
9:30 Eastern Standard Time until 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But here's what's really happening the other 18 hours. Because again, 6.5 hours here within the queues, 23 hours here. We got 23 hours of opportunity to trade the queues. But when the US market is open and the queues are doing certain things, that gives us an edge on how to trade our index, the NASDAQ 100 indice or index. Very, very, very key. I hope you're grasping this. I don't know if I'm being
Or the futures. I'm not sure what you're. Help us follow through what you're thinking when you see the QQQ. You see the gap there on 21, Feb 21.
yeah.
What are you looking there? So you see that gap. What does that tell you over on the futures?
So here on 21 February, okay, you can kind of see how there is no gap here.
Right. I guess the gap up, I guess.
Yeah. So Friday, 16 February, price closed here.
Mhm.
Following Monday, actually, I guess that was a holiday. So this is Tuesday. we opened way down here.
Mhm.
Here's your retest. There's no gap anymore.
Mhm.
And then the bears come back in, push the price back down, all the way down to here. Bulls come back in at the end of the session. We closed right here on Tuesday, 20 February. Okay, the next morning, the Qs open down here. All right, so that's 21 Feb. Let's jump over here to the index. 21 February. We don't. You see how we have the big gap down here to 21 February?
Yeah.
Well, over here, all we have is an indecision candle.
I guess I'm trying to see what you're seeing. I don't see what you're seeing. And what your thought process is there.
Let's maybe look at today.
What's that?
I'm gonna say, let's maybe look at today and just see if we can't draw some clearer parallels. So that's like 1 p.m. So right here is where the market closed, like right in here, you know, US market closed.
If you're trading futures, what time of day are you trading?
Usually 5:30 Alaska time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So when the US market opens, I usually will wait.
In the morning?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'll usually wait till US market opens. I want to see. That's a great question. What I want to see, today's Tuesday. So here's where the US market opened, right here.
Mhm.
That's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Mhm.
Okay, what I'm looking for is there's a big bull move coming up. I'm
Mhm.
not going to get trapped. I don't want to get trapped. The bears come back in and pushed it down. However, we're staying up above our 10 EMA. So after this is like my 5-minute rule. I want to see what is price action going to do above that and below that. This is now becomes very important to me. And it's just a 5-minute opening range.
Okay.
Okay, because there's a lot of activity, but I'm looking for candles, not wicks, but bodies of candles to open and close either above this first 5-minute range or below the first 5-minute range. I'm not interested in these wicks.
Right.
The fact that it even opened down here and went up here, not interested yet. Not enough information. But here, this candle right here, the body opened well above this 5-minute and closed above this 5-minute. Now I think I've got trend.
Mm.
So now I'm just looking for a good place to get in because I am now out above this range. This 5-minute high is going to be support, or this 5-minute low is going to be resistance.
And is it that indecision candle that you're basically focusing on?
This one right
Because
here.
of that indecision candle?
Yeah, I
Okay.
really am.
Because you don't, yeah,
The US market opened right here.
okay.
And I don't know if I don't want to get trapped. It's like this could be a trapping wick, and it comes back down. Here's a inverted hammer shooting star. We're like, oh, this is beautiful. This is going to roll right on over. And it wouldn't be so quick yet. Let's see if the low of this opening 5-minute range or candle is it going to be support or resistance? It became support here. Again, so now we're this candle right here does not meet criteria. This candle right here is the first time I've got an open and a close on the body of a candle above this 5-minute. And it retests. This wick right here is actually very positive. So now I look to get in around my 10 EMA.
Okay.
And ride it on up. That's strategy number one.
Okay.
Number two is I want to know, hey, at around 6:30 or 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, you can see this time frame right here. I want to plot. So if I'm going up, there's so much power in what is happening, not only at the 5-minute, but what's happening an hour later.
Okay.
And look how things go sideways an hour later. So it's a good place to take a target. If you're bullish here, hey, once you're approaching that 1 hour, you might consider taking some profits, because now we're going to look left and look, you see how the same thing over here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of consolidation. You got this point there, point. That's the power of looking left. So there's resistance here. And we can anticipate that just by looking at our clock. Oh, it's 1 hour now. Market's been open for an hour. Just look left. Yep. All right. I'm up 2 hours right here. I'm getting out. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 minutes and 1 hour. Now this 1 hour, we can't be so strict and say, hey, at exactly 1 hour after the market opens. But it does give us some insight to a price zone that many times needs to be respected. That's the best way I can explain that. But here's your 1 hour, and it just trend is up. 10 EMA is going up. So what does that tell us should be part of our trading plan? Also is like, you know what? I'm only looking for bullish trades. I want to buy when things are coming down. I get in maybe above this hammer, indecision candle right here, bouncing off this, very strategic price level here, which was in this purple line. Actually, I'm kind of tying in the previous day's, high, actually. That's what that is. But just trying to look for those areas where it's going to be a dogfight for price to continue. But 60 minutes right here, 60 minutes after the market opens, it becomes support. I mean, we got
if you got in at that point, would you, and then got out at that resistance there, would you consider that done for the day? Do you follow that through?
I'll make sure I understand the question. If I were to get in here, then here's where my 60 minutes took me.
Mm-hmm. Would you have jumped in right away after it hit that down below, after that 5 minute, once that nice candle opened and closed down below farther? Would you have jumped in there? You
can, absolutely.
Okay.
And the reason we're bullish, because
right.
of this right here. And now we're hitting 1 hour after the market opened, right in here.
Yep. So you're
So-
looking for support and resistance and then.
Yes, we come
yeah.
down, we're now below the 10,
Mhm.
but things are bullish. So get in as low as you can, and anywhere along this 10 EMA right here is going to be successful the rest of the day.
Right.
When this 10 EMA drops back down below this orange line, that's very indicative of a reversal. Look for your double tops, but we just really don't have them here. I mean, here's like a double top,
Mhm.
but again, we got to understand what is our actual trend. Everything's pointing up, so let's not fight it.
Mhm.
If 10 EMA is pointing down, we're below the orange, we're below the yellow, and this 200 simple moving average, and they're all pointing down, we would only consider bearish trades. But under these
Right.
conditions, we're going to respect the big money, because big money says I'm bullish. We just got to trade with big money. We can't fight it. We're not going to be. We're contrarians. We're going to lose money if we're a contrarian. What's big money doing?
Mhm.
I've got 2 minutes and I have to drop. So homework exercise is I'm in a 5-minute time frame. These vertical lines right here are different days, each session. See this purple line up here? I'm targeting this area right here. This purple line, I'm like targeting this area here. There's another great reason purple line should be like right in here. Look, see how this kind of come up and flirted with this right here? But yet it bounced off the 100 simple moving average. Plot these lines. Look for, then we jump back into like a 3-minute time frame. When we start down here, look at this beautiful bounce off the 200 simple moving average. Look at this kind of indecision / bear candle closing above the 10 EMA. Look at the upside. Look at the upside. It's significant. And what if you get in there, or even above this one here? With your stop down here, 10 EMA, 100. I mean, there's 5.5 hours.
Mhm.
So
Practice.
yeah. I got to drop, but does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah, zoom out and plot these lines. Look left, and then look for your 10 EMA opportunities from the low of the day. Plot that. Like down here's another purple line. It's not the very bottom here, but I kind of keyed in on this area. A lot of sideways action here. Same thing here. So this is a zone of support. I'm not going to short when I get down into this area.
No.
Does that make sense? And it's the
Yes.
same thing up here.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. We got to be careful, but not going to go long, from up in here. But
Right.
there might be some bullish opportunities. Again, and we go back to the daily chart. There's some opportunities to kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bear candle days in a row.
Mhm.
We can expect a bounce,
Yeah.
but we got to be careful
Do
because
you suggest that I do practice on the E-mini futures?
oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Paper trade within trading view all you want.
Okay.
Um,
With the E-minis?
yes, yeah. E-minis or even the micros. You cannot
Okay.
go wrong. Just learn that price action.
Mhm.
Study the cues and go back to your real life trading dashboard, the 4 types of gaps.
Yep.
Go review that and understand the cues and the gaps. And what you're gonna find is there's an edge when it comes to trading the futures, the
Okay.
NQs.
With the gaps,
Yeah, the gaps on the Qs. You're not gonna have gaps on a 23-hour asset,
Right,
but the
right.
gaps on the Qs, they're gonna be filled.
Okay.
You know, that sentiment is there. So that's my recommendation. So I want to focus on that. I've got to drop. I'm
Okay.
waiting for another one, but I think this is value added. So
Yes, thank you.
you bet.
Well, it's always helpful that it's recorded too, right?
Yes, we'll get it out.
Great.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
You bet.